I think there's a very good chance we end up seeing a new core collection award coming at the very beginning of season 4 here, which is coming up really quickly. So in this video, I'm just going to go over all of my thoughts about a possible new core collection award coming in just another week or two. So basically, I'm just going to go over some important things to know if we end up getting this new collection reward, because the markets could shift around quite a bit, making a lot of things super expensive. So I just think right now it makes sense to start preparing. So I'll give you guys some advice for what you should be grinding. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We're going to be posting a ton of videos for Season 4, so not going to want to miss any of those. But now let's get into the core collection. And as we know, the first core collection card that we got was Corey Seager, who came into the game in Season 2. And throughout the year, they really haven't released too many core cards. The number has kind of surprised me. I thought they'd be releasing more, at least a few more, right? So I don't know. I think it makes sense that we really only have seen this one so far, but I do think at the beginning of Season 4, there is a good chance that we see another one. And I'm thinking that they might be planning on having like a new core collection card, maybe every 2 seasons, right? Like we're thinking of the set collections. Those are every season for each set, but just with the number of core collections that are core cards that are coming into the game, I think it makes sense to have a collection reward come in maybe every other season or something like that. So if I had to guess, I would say we'd probably get like 3 core collection cards all year, which means these cards are going to be super juiced. You know, this upcoming one, no different. It's going to be a really, really good card that you guys are not going to want to miss. And if I had to guess, I would say it's going to be a hitter as well, because I think most collection cards in this game, really good ones, have been really good cards and, you know, very good hitters. So probably staying with that theme, right, of hitters. But let's go over how you obtain these core cards and what you should be focusing on, right? So one way is through the live series collections. So completing each team gets you a core card. Then completing all of the divisions gets you another core card, right? So that's, and then the leagues, AL and NL as well, obviously the McGuire and Sosa, and then finally the Jeter for the MLB one. So if we think about how many of this gets us, we know there's the 30 teams, but then on top of that, the 6 divisions, right? And then the leagues, 2 leagues, and the MLB. So in total, 39 from live series collections. So this is a large chunk of where the core cards are going to be coming from. So highly recommend knocking these out if you haven't. And the live series collections are the cheapest they've been at this point, and they'll probably go up in value if a core collection comes, right? Because it's just going to bump up the price on all those cards. Another way to get cards will be the BR programs, and this, not just this one, but all of the ones. So hopefully you guys have been keeping up with obtaining these cards or grinding the program, buying them, whatever you've been doing. A lot of cards have come from BR. So hopefully you guys have been doing that. And like I said, you can obviously buy them. These ones are pretty cheap, like I showed you guys. So go ahead and buy these ones. Unfortunately, the older ones are going to be a lot more expensive though. So you might have to spend a little bit, but hopefully you guys have been keeping up either buying them or grinding the BR, because that's another super important one. So then another way to be obtaining some core cards is through these storyline moments and obtaining these Negro League players here. Super easy moments, right? It just takes some time. Takes a little bit of grinding, a little bit, you know, a little tedious, but it's going to get you probably 10 or so cards. So, you know, it's not a bad grind, right? It'll get you some, you know, cheap, free cards. So not too bad right there. But then if we think about other ways to be grinding the game, to be obtaining some core cards, so we have those, but then we also have, if you guys go back, was released on the first day actually, is a conquest map, and that is the Nation of Baseball conquest map. And then in here you can find probably 10 to 12 different players. Now I don't know, if you haven't started it yet, I'm not sure I would grind the entire map just for these players. But if you're like, you know, if you finished it, great. But if you're, you know, partway through or whatever, go ahead and knock it out, and it's just going to get you some free core cards, right? It's a great way of getting them. So yeah, I mean, that's a good way. And then another way we can get core cards is actually through Team Affinity. Now you might be thinking, wait, core cards came from Team Affinity, and they did. So Season 1, they did. That's it. Season 1, we had 10 of these core cards in each division. So we know there's 6 divisions. So in total, you know, there's 60 Team Affinity cards right there that are core. And then there actually is another way to get it from a program, actually, which is let's go to the Mexico City Series program. So you can find, for completing this program, 16 core cards right in here, and this is a pretty simple grind actually. So I would prioritize like the Mexico City series program right here over something like the Nation of Baseball Conquest map if you haven't started, or if you haven't started like the Negro League storyline moments. Highly recommend the Mexico City series program because that's a good chunk, 16 into the total. So currently there are a total of 239 core cards in the game. So then the other important thing to keep in mind too is how many cards it will take to obtain this next core collection card if we get that. And if I had to guess, knowing there's 239 core cards in the game, I would say that probably 220 to 230, which would be like 40 to 50 more than unlocking Seager. I think 220, 230, I guess maybe 225, but probably 220 or 230. My guess would probably be 230 if I had to guess. So that's pretty much everything, right? And we're going to be getting more like BR program cards in here, right? So we're going to be getting more of those, pretty easy to acquire, and then probably some more core cards here and there as well that can help you get more progress. So I would look into how close you guys are to this total number and then start thinking about what might make sense to work on, to get towards that 220, 230 number. And I feel like probably most of you, if not all of you, have Team Affinity Season 1, all of those core cards from that. So you probably, don't have to worry about those. Instead, I would focus on like the live series collections and then buying up some of the BR cards, especially the newer ones that are a little cheaper. And ideally, you've been keeping up with that, those cards all along here. But then I would complete the Mexico City series program for sure, get an extra 16, and then once you do that, probably shift my focus either the Negro Leagues moments or to the Conquest map, especially if you're like halfway between or halfway through like the Conquest map. Definitely knock that out, get those players for sure. So let me know who you guys think this core collection card might be and just overall thoughts about this. I'm curious to see what you guys have to think, but this is what I think, and I think we'll get one for Season 4. I mean, don't mark my words and write it in stone, but like, I don't know. I think there's a really good chance that we do see this. And I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate you for watching. Peace.